Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today in this video we are discussing on top 15 managerial round interview questions which are frequently asked in almost every managerial round. So before we start our list of managerial round questions, I would want to discuss on very important 3 points which is important for you in managerial, also in the HR round. So first point which is very important is that whenever you are giving any technical round, so technical round happens before your managerial round, right? So technical round, what is very important in technical round? In technical round, your skills is what matters, so your coding skills. So 75% of the times, if you want to clear your technical round, your coding skills should be good, and 25%, rest of the 25% is your confidence there. But if you just go with a confidence in technical round, you can't clear it, so your skills are very important there. But coming to managerial round or HR round, most of the time it happens that your manager might not be aware of your core technology or what is in depth of that technology, so they are not going to ask you any technical questions there. They might ask here and there some follow-up questions, but most of the times managerial round they don't ask most of the technical questions, and same with the HR round also, so they also don't ask any technical question. So what is important in our managerial or HR round? It is always your confidence. So you should always give your answers with confidence. In managerial round, your 75% of the times what is important is your confidence, and 25% of the times it's technical. Only in case you have mentioned some topic, you have mentioned something in your resume, and manager is really interested in it, or he already has some experience in past and he wants to really check if you have written something truthful there or was it just a lie. In that case, they might ask you some technical follow-up questions, but that is only 25% of the times, and I've never seen anything like that in my experience. So managerial round are mostly you have to answer them with confidence. Okay, that is the first important point, that if you're going for a managerial round, you should have confidence. And second very important point is, if you are going for like into a managerial round, you should always have a positivity. You should never be like, okay, I'll not be able to clear it, or what will happen. You should always have a positivity. You should be humble. You cannot go with the attitude that, okay, I've cleared a technical round before this, so this is very easy for me. I have seen many people who have cleared technical round. They are really good software developer, but they were misfit for that team. That is why they got rejected in managerial round, or they got rejected in HR round. Okay, so you should also have some humbleness, and of course confidence is mandatory, so confidence you should have. And third point is that whenever you are giving any technical round, suppose someone is asking you some question, some definition, some example, or some coding, then you can give that example, you can give the answer. At the same moment you will know whether you have answered it correctly or wrong. Like if they asked you some topic, you were not knowing it, at the same time, at the same moment, you will be knowing that, okay, you have messed up in your interview, or you gave some wrong answer. So if you're giving some wrong answer, then interviewer would anyway ask you like, are you sure? Or he will try to give you a hint, right? Or some, even if you are not aware of your mistake in the interview, after your interview, when you google, you will get to know that, okay, what definition or what example or what explanation you gave were wrong. Okay, so technical round is very clear, it is either correct or it's wrong. But that is not the case with managerial round. In managerial round, what happens, you might answer some question and you might feel that, okay, it's correct and I have given perfect answer, but that might not be correct answer when it comes to managers view. Okay, so in managerial round, it depends from company to company, from team to team. So maybe from your perspective it was really good, but from manager's perspective it was wrong, or it was a misfit for his team, so he might reject you in that interview. So always make sure that in managerial round you give always the safe answer. Don't go to too extreme of negativity or too extremes of positivity. So you should always be in a middle and give the safe answers. Okay, so let's begin our video. Now I'll be listing down all the questions. I would suggest you, once you have heard the question, you have read the question in the screen, then always make sure that you pause the video, you give yourself a answer to it. Give yourself 2 minutes, answer that question, and see if you are able to answer that with confidence. You have positivity, do you have content? There are sometimes that some questions are asked situation based question, and you have not encountered that in your past experience, but still you cannot say like, okay, I don't know what I will be doing there. So you can at least come up with the answer, okay, I have never dealt with it, but in case this happens, this is how I would deal with it. So you should have some content for that. Okay, so now we will start our first question. First question is, tell me about yourself and why should we hire you. In this question, tell me about yourself, you can mention that, okay, I'm this, my name is so and so, and I have done my education from here, from this university, from this location. After that, I was working with this company with as a software developer, or as an associate software developer, whatever your position is, and I have these many year of experience in this technology, or multiple technologies. So this you can mention about yourself. And the question, why should we hire you, for that question you should always mention your skill sets, that these are the skill sets I have gone through the job role, I have applied and I have cleared the interview. Don't there, always be humble, that these were the job description I have read, I know these skill sets, I have few things I didn't know, I learned. And always make sure that your skills are almost like 70-75% of the times they are matching with the job description of that job profile. So you can say that these things are there, and I am really interested in joining your organization, that is why you have to hire me and give me a chance. Okay, so that is the first question. Now second question is, what do you know about our company and why do you want to join it. So in this question, see what happens whenever you are giving interview, it is not like you will be giving interview for only one company, you might be giving interview for 10, 12, 15, or 20 companies. Okay, and it is not necessary for you to know everything about every company, because there might be millions of company in this world, you cannot go and read about every company. But what you have to do whenever you are giving any interview, then before 5 minutes of that interview, just go and search on Google that who is the CEO, where is the headquarters, and when was it formed. Okay, when was it like when did the organization start. Like what happens here is, if you give such information, like if an interviewer is asking you what do you know about our company, and you give such answer, so this creates a positive impact and positive impression on the manager. Because when, suppose I am your manager and I ask you this question, so when I joined this organization, even I didn't know who CEO was. Okay, but in case you are telling that, okay, I have gone through the company's profile and I know these many information, then that is actually a good impression, that okay, the candidate is really interested and he has given his some efforts in finding about the company. And you can also mention that I have seen that your company works in this domain, and I'm really interested into this, I have previous experience, but I would like to explore more, that is why I want to join. And also you can mention like why do you want to join it, you can mention on the policies, you can mention that you have gone through the reviews of current employees and you liked it very much, the amount of growth opportunity what is given by this company is really great, and I want to work in such organization. As a, if you are a female candidate, then you can also mention that your company rules and regulations are really good for women, and they also support women empowerment and career growth and other stuffs you can say. So these things you can mention in your answer when this question is asked. Now our third question is, what are your strengths and weaknesses. So strengths, you can say, strengths you can say whatever is the reality, like I'm good at this skill, or I learn quickly, I'm quick learner, or I am good at team bonding, other stuffs, whatever is the reality, that you can say. But with weaknesses, I would say that do not say anything wrong or do not say anything irrelevant. I have seen people saying that I sleep a lot. Is that relevant to this interview? You are not sitting here in some family gathering or something. This is corporate interview, right? You should not be saying such irrelevant things. Or you cannot say like food is my weakness. These things are irrelevant in this interview. So you can say something that you feel like in future you can progress or you can avoid it, like that weakness, either you can avoid it or you can develop a better quality over it. Okay, you can progress in that. So you can say something like, okay, I know that this is my weakness, I'm working on it, and hopefully in future I will be able to fix it, or I'll be able to improve on that point. So that one point you can say in your weakness. Our fourth question is, what motivates you at work. Of course it's money. For all of us, we know why we are working, it's for the money, for our livelihood. But here you cannot directly say that, okay, for the salary or the package you're offering, that is why I am interested and that is what motivates me. You cannot say that. You have to say something like, okay, productivity, having a productivity day by day, and making myself work work on something which other people did not want to, and I have worked on that hard task, and this gives me confidence and motivation to work. So these steps you can say in what motivates you to work. Now our fifth question is, have you ever worked in leadership position? If yes, tell us more about it. So in this question, either if you have worked as a team leader, as a tech lead or team lead, or you have managed your team, then you can say yes, I have worked as this thing, and I used to manage team of these many person, and I was very supportive, we had a great team bond. These stuffs you can say if you have really worked. In case you have not worked, you are just having 2 year, 3 year or 4 year of experience, then what will you say? In this case, if you don't have any leadership experience, then you can say that till now I was never given an opportunity, for because I had only this much year of experience. I had seniors who were already present and they were my team lead, but yeah, in certain cases I have led the team. And how you were able to manage the team, how the group bonding was, these steps you can say that okay, officially you have not handled your team as a team leader, but yeah, you have those skill sets, and you can also say that this is my long term goal, where I see myself in some leadership position where I will be guiding my team, I will be mentoring the juniors, and I will be working on the some core technology or on some task which is not easier for other people. And you can say that I feel that in future I would want to take responsibility of some module or etc. Such things you can say that okay, till now I don't have any leadership positions, I have not held any, but I am interested in, if I get in future, if I get that opportunity in future. Our sixth question is, why are you looking for a change? Okay, why are you looking for a change? This can have many answers for multiple people. Every individual person has their own view on this, why they want to change. For few it is always the package, for few it is the growth, for few it's switch of the technology itself, or for few it's like they want to experience something new, something better in some other organization. Okay, so you, if you feel like that is a valid point, then you can say that. Or not, you can just say that okay, I have reached my comfort zone and I want to try out something new, I want to learn something new, I want to be in a separate team, like in a different team, and want to learn more. So personal upskillment is the reason why I want to switch. Okay, that is what you can quote in your interview. Our seventh question is, what are your long term goals? So long term goals we have discussed in the previous question. You can say that long term goals include you want to be in a leadership position, or you want to be you want to lead some module, take responsibility of it, and mentor juniors, mentor the new joinee. So such steps you can say. And in case you have some better answer that you want to achieve after 5 6 years, so you can say that, but make sure that you don't say something negative like okay, after 5 years I'm going to switch from this company too. So these things might lead to the rejection in this round, so don't say such stuffs. So that are the 7 question. Now eighth question is, tell me about your project, about your current project in which you are working in the current organization. So here, whenever you start about your project, you have to start with saying what this project is about, what is the application of it. So for example, is it useful for analytics, is it useful for monitoring, is it useful for something else, management. So these things, like how is it useful for end user, is it a mobile application, is it a e-commerce website, is it useful for supply chain management. So these stuffs you have to say that what is the core domain, like what is the use of it, of this application, is it being used by some management people or by normal people, by end users. So you have to tell about the application of your of your project. And also you have to say about the domain, like whether it is in supply chain, or is it a banking, or is it an investment, or e-commerce, travel, retail, telecom, finance. So these things you have to say that in which domain your project is in. Then you have to say about your tech stack. So tech stack you can say that, is it a MERN stack development, or is it using backend Java, is it using Java Spring Boot in backend, or Node or .NET. In UI, what are you using, React, or is it just vanilla JavaScript, Angular, Vue. So these things you have to say about your core about your tech stack. Also you have to say about how does DevOps and all works, if you're aware of it. If you're not aware, you can completely say like, okay, I was working in backend only, or I was working in UI only, but I want to upskill, I want to upgrade, I want to learn more about the software development life cycle, and I want to work in every part of it. Okay, so these things you can say. And also one important point, you can mention that what model were you following waterfall or agile or scrum or hybrid, what it was. So if you say, then manager would have more understanding on what kind of project you were in. Okay, our ninth question is, what are your role and responsibility in your current project? So roles and responsibility, you can say that how your daily day-to-day work starts. You sit in a scrum, you give information, then you get a user story, you go through it, you discuss with the product owner or business analyst, and then you communicate with the cross-functional team like backend team. And once you have got the API, you integrate it, and you make sure that it is the feature whatever you have got in the user story, that is end to end completed. Then after code review, you go for code review. After code review, if there is any changes, you do the changes, and then again you go to the DevOps, and from there pipeline runs and it is deployed. Then we have a demo or show and tell. So such steps you can say that these are my roles and responsibility. You can also say that once I am done with my user story, sometimes I also ask for some defects, or I ask for smaller user story which I can cover in the same sprint. So these things you can say. Our 10th question is, rate your skills from scale of 1 to 10. In this question, they actually want to check your confidence. They know that you have already cleared your technical round, that is why you are here, but they just want to check your confidence. So in this, I would suggest that you have to always mention that your skills are from, the rating are from 7 to 9. It should not be below 7, because if you're saying that, if interviewer asks you that how do you rate yourself in JavaScript, or how do you rate yourself in Java, and you say 6, 5, 4, then this shows underconfidence, and it also shows that you're not sure with your skills. We as an interview, we are not here to get someone very average or below average person. Here we are, if we are offering some salary, or we are sitting here to hire you, we are investing so much time in our interview process, then we would want someone who is above average and is able to upskill on daily basis. Even if he doesn't know some topic, he should be able to learn and adapt. Okay, so this you can like below 7 you should not say, and you should also not say 10, because this shows overconfidence. You should always have a room for learning. And you would also know, like if you have given your technical round, if you have answered all the questions, then you know that you have performed really well, then you can rate yourself 9. But in case you were stuck at 2 3 questions and you were not able to answer them, then you can give yourself 7, 7.5 or 8. That is the safer marks you can give to yourself. Our 11th question is, working on weekend in delivery time. So will you be okay to work if there is a delivery and it's a weekend time? Will you be okay to work? So of course here you have to say yes, because see, it is not like only in IT this happens. There are all other, many other domains in their respective time period where there is high pressure, they have to work. And similarly in IT also, if there is delivery and there is a lot of work pending, then you'll have to work, because if you're getting hired and then you don't go and work, that is not how it works. Like anyway, there would be escalation, so you'll have to work. But here you can say that yes, here you have to say that yes, if there is delivery time and it's very important, then I would work, I would be okay to work on weekend, and I would be happy to work. Okay, so this you can say. 12th question is, requirement changed at last moment, how do you handle that? So they want to check, because see what happens in your previous organization also, you would have dealt where requirements change at last moment. And it is not like that is happening only in your project, it happens in almost every project. Almost in 90-95% this happens, that requirements change afterwards. When you are developing something, you found out something, you go to the business analyst and they change the requirement, or they tweak it a little bit. So this happens everywhere, but they want to check how would you handle it. Will you be okay to do the changes at last moment, or how will you handle? There should be open communication and transparency. If there is something changed, then you have to say to manager, you have to get that time, are you taking some buffer time in which you can cover this, or at last moment are you going to just give up that no, I cannot do this? So which is very wrong. So that is why you can say that okay, I have dealt with this experience previously in my previous organization, and if this changes, if it is small change, I can do it. If it is not, then yes, I would reach out to the manager, I would reach out to you, get some time, or get some time from the client, and I would be happy to do the changes if I'm given time. But yeah, open communication and transparency is very important in such cases when requirements are changing and there is deadline. You have already committed that in this much time I'll be able to do the changes, but you're not able to do. So in that condition, you can say that I would communicate to you with the details that what we have done till now and what is the change and how much time it would require. Then we can plan accordingly. So this is the safest answer you can say, that yes, not every time we will be able to achieve. Like if today evening is the deadline and there is change today at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in afternoon, then how would you do the changes? So yeah, you should not overcome it, but you can say that we will have a conversation and we will have everything clear that this much we have done, this is required, this much time or efforts will be required. So I would be happy to connect with you. So our 13th question is, how do you manage the conflict with your colleague? So this question they might ask, if you are front end developer, they might ask, like this was a question asked to me too, that since you are a front end developer and all, it is almost every time that front end and back end developer are fighting that we can handle this or we cannot handle this, your team has to handle, API will give us the data, and then backend people say that UI has to handle. So how will you handle such conflict in your team with your colleagues? So you can say that, okay, I have had experience. I would definitely give my colleague a chance to speak, and once they propose their method or the solution, I would also propose mine, and then we will try sit together and we will try to find a common solution, because we are not sitting here for some personal work. It is about organization. So whatever suits best for our project, then we would be proceeding with that approach, no matter if it is my solution or his solution, his or her solution, whichever is appropriate and apt for our project, we will be progressing with that. So you can say this answer in your interview. Our 14th question is, are you willing to learn new technology? So in this question you can say that yes, I am willing to learn new technology. That is one of the reason why I want to switch. Since in the current organization I was working in this backend role, or I was working in DevOps role, I also want to explore other sides of software development lifecycle. I want to know how things actually work. I don't want to be confined to one domain. I want to learn more. So that is the answer you can give to this question. Then 15th question is, describe a moment when there was a tight deadline and high pressure on you, and how did you deal with it? So manager is asking you this question in interview just to check if you are okay. If there is high pressure on you, will you be able to handle it, or will you give up at the last moment? Because most of the time in IT there is high pressure and tight deadline. So in this you can give an example if you have ever dealt with it, or you can also say that yes, communication and conversation is the key to solving any issue in our team. So in case there is tight deadline, so we would have a meeting before starting the work, and we would plan accordingly that how much time is required and how many developers are required, how much effort is required. So this is how we can deal with the tight deadline. In case there is something lacking in in our approach or solution, then yes, I would be happy to work so that we are able to deliver our project to the client. So you should always be positive. If they are saying that okay, there is this much pressure, that much pressure, then you should always say like, okay, I will be able to work, I will be able to cope up with the work. You should be always humble, don't have any ego or attitude, and always show positivity and show confidence. Okay, so these are 15 important questions. One more last 16th question I would say, which could be asked to you, is, do you have any question? This is the last question which is asked. Don't go blank, don't say no, I don't have any question, just hire me. Don't say these things. Don't ask like, how did my interview go, am I selected or am I rejected? Don't say. Ask about the company, ask about different policies. Do they provide any kind of education, like educational courses? How do they support upskilling? And how does it happen if you want to transition your career? You transition in the sense you want to learn something new, so is it possible? So these things you can question, that how does policy work, and what is the, is it a hybrid mode, or is it like how many times should I come to office, what is the normal work timing, who is the client? Yes, they will not give you the answer to this, that who our client is, but you can ask. It's okay to ask. And then also you can ask about what tech stack do we use. So these questions you can ask. So yeah, that's it about these top 15 questions which are asked in managerial round. So all the best for your managerial round. I hope that you encounter one of these questions so that it is easier for you to answer. So yeah, thank you everyone, thanks for watching. Let's catch up in some next video.